honored and pleased to have turntable legend Cut Chemist with us today. We're here at the Venice West on Lincoln Boulevard. And first of all, congrats on a Grammy nomination.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, for the engineering. Yeah.
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
None of us did, actually. Everybody that was involved in that was like, whoa. Right.
Cool. So, 50 years of hip-hop is a major milestone for the culture. When it comes to the evolution of the DJ, what essential elements do you think should stand out over the years?
This is probably going to seem a little weird, but I think the answer is technology. Okay. The DJs, the way they flip what's available to them inspires the engineers to come back and build on top of that and deliver something on the heels of that raises it up and evolves.
Right.
And that kind of goes back and forth, between the DJ and how they work the gear that's invented, and then it gets reinvented based on how they flip it. Hip hop is in a nutshell to me is taking something and reinventing it.
Right.
Exactly. Which is what DJs, MCs, graffiti artists, b-boys.
Yeah, all the elements.
And that's which is the ultimate artist to me. Mm-hmm. And that's why I think hip hop has such a staying power. Yes. Is because it could take something that exists and recontextualize it into something else. And when you can morph things like that, that's like wizardry.
Yeah.
So 50 years is 50 years young.
Yeah. We got a lot to go for sure. So I personally enjoy your loop pedal DJ performances with the single turntable,
right?
Live stuff and the collaborations with Edon. Do you have anything coming with Edon in the future?
We talk all the time, and half the stuff we come up with is just like, yeah, that would be cool. Mm-hmm. But you never know. I mean, that's how my entire career started, with just like shits and giggles. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Of like, yeah, wouldn't that be cool? Yeah, whatever. And then boom, it happens.
Right on.
Coming on, out of a pandemic, I think mostly what the collaborations that Edon and I have done have been live things, like curating shows together. We did a wonderful thing last year with a movie, a live band, a dinner experience with listening. Like, it's very, it's a 3-day festival kind of thing, like in my backyard, So bringing on the heels of isolation from a pandemic, we want to reach out to people, but on an intimate level, not volume, not quantity, but quality. And so the way we figured to do that is to share the music we like with a small amount of people, and then we make food for them too. Yeah.
The last time I saw you guys together was at the House of Blues, when it was still there on Hollywood Boulevard.
Wow, this would have been...
That was years ago.
2006, 7 maybe?
Yeah, it was years ago. It was you and Edon.
Or is that the Renegades with Shadow?
That was at the Hollywood Palladium.
Oh, no. Yeah. You saw the Tunnel Vision show.
Yeah.
When Mike and I and D'Anthony Parks.
Yeah. That was ridiculous, man.
That was like me vomiting my like dream come true.
Yeah.
Like my favorite artists on the planet that are in my circle on the same stage.
Yeah, very memorable, man.
Thank you, man.
So I've seen you in a couple documentaries over the years, Scratch, and then the Good Life Cafe documentary. What era of LA hip hop do you appreciate the most, was most influential on you?
Man, that's a hard question. It seems like all of them. I was around when Dr. Dre was doing traffic jam mixes on KDAY in '84.
Wow. Ty might remember that. He's from LA.
And Uncle Jam's Army, like taping Uncle Jam's Army shows. I was too young to go. But
I was 13 years old.
I was 13. Okay. So I started in '83. Got hip to KDAY around that time, and just listening and taping to those live broadcasts.
Nothing like it. Still.
Nothing like it. Like you're just kind of sitting at home, going, man, what is it like down there? And then you're listening to the cuts, trying to learn how they're doing it. You don't have video. You're ear hustling it only.
Right.
And so you make mistakes and you come up with your own style doing that. And it was great. So that's one era. The next era...
That was like the 80s. Uncle Jam's Army was definitely...
Early 80s.
Early 80s, right.
Yeah. And then you have The Good Life which is 90 to 94 or whatever. So
Right.
early 80s, early 90s. The thing about the Good Life era was it reinvented hip hop in a way I never thought possible. Like at that point, I considered myself a scholar of hip hop. Like, I'm a record collector. I collect all kinds of stuff. I've seen every movie. But when I saw Freestyle Fellowship do, performances at the Good Life, I was like,
That's part of Project Blue too.
Yeah. Project Blue was born out of Good Life.
Right.
And so that changed me forever. It was a real renaissance period for LA hip hop for me.
West Coast hip hop, really.
Yeah, for West Coast hip hop. I mean, you had other people killing it, of course, in the Bay. You had Souls, Digital Underground. But we had Fellowship, we had Good Life, we had Farside.
Right.
It was Medusa, CDE, Volume 10. I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
Right.
And like I said, it was a real renaissance period because the things that were happening in multiple places weren't connected. Like, these people didn't know each other. Pharoah Monch didn't know Mike and I, but yet they were doing this. They were onto the same thing, like with rhythmic patterns. And similar styles and playing with music theory within their raps.
Oh wow, that's deep.
At the very same time, 91 in October is like kind of when both of those things dropped on separate coasts, and I was like, something's happening here, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I always look to that period as, my kind of, I just got out of college, or I just started college, got out of high school, so very impressionable, But yeah, that was probably my favorite period. I'm so glad it exists on a documentary.
Yes.
Because I could watch the favorite part of my life on a video, thanks to Ava.
And people younger than us, my kids, can watch Netflix and get educated on that scene,
Yeah, I watched that video 1,000 times.
Yeah. So I know someone probably asked you this before, but do you have a standout record digging trip? We talked to Newmark. He was talking about the one in New Orleans that was, you guys were there. You didn't expect to get those records. But anything else in standout countries to dig records in, like Japan or Brazil?
Well, Brazil for sure. Brazil in 2002, I went with Madlib, the Beat Junkies, next to Beat Plus, and the Red Bull Music Academy.
Wow.
2 weeks down there, and I'll turn you out record-wise. I mean, records back then were falling off the tree. It was amazing. Colombia.
Medellin, Colombia?
Bogota, Cali.
Oh, wow.
Cali was really nice. I was there with Quantic, and again, B+. B+ will come up a lot because he is kind of my ear to the world, so to speak. He goes to these places first and is like, man, you should come here. There's a lot of records. I'm like, cool. Well, when I book a trip, I'll let you know. Maybe we can meet up. And 9 times out of 10, he does.
Wow. So you're with the band Quantic down there?
With Quantic, the person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know there's a collective named Quantic also.
Quantic Soul Orchestra.
Quantic Soul. Yeah,
so Quantic is the figurehead for that.
Oh, okay.
His name's Will Holland.
Oh, right on, bro. So, final question, man. What tips would you give, up-and-coming DJs and producers regarding pushing boundaries in DJ culture and creating authentic sounds?
Don't stray away from any technology. There's a lot of this I hate button pushing. I want to see people scratch. Don't get into that mind state. It's all great. I've seen great people on controllers. I've seen people do really great work on drum machines, on records, tape cassettes. Don't limit yourself to the technology, because all these people are expressing themselves, and if you have something to say, and there's a medium that you're gravitated towards or you only have access to, use it. And don't let anybody tell you that that's the wrong thing to do it with. Because there's a lot of naysaying, of course, now, especially coming out of the pandemic, and the world's so divided, and people like to, put themselves up on a soapbox and talk down on others, and that's not it. That's not what's up. That's not going to get you anywhere. I love this song, Wildflower. That's the thing, and it's a really hard mind state to be consistent with in today's world, but it can be done. You know, all you got to do is love what you do, and surround yourself around people,
like-minded people,
like-minded people that will support it. And when they don't support it, that's okay. You know, you move on to another problem. You know, group of people, and they'll support it. You know, you can't stay friends with people your whole life. You got to meet new people, and you change and evolve, and those people change and evolve. And you know, you're gonna intertwine with different crowds, and you know that's what makes life beautiful. Sometimes the special people you stick with, you know, your whole life
for the duration.
I have, you know, 40-year friendship with people like Charlie Tuna, you know, and I feel like very blessed, and that doesn't happen often, you know, with people. You know, Newmark, you know, that's my man. You know, Edon, you know, like these are people that I look up to as artists, and I'm inspired by still to this day.
Okay, cool, man. Well, I appreciate it, man, and appreciate your time. We're going to be here watching the set.
Thanks, man.
And we've always, you know, had great love for your sets over the years.
I appreciate it.
You know, Jurassic, whatever projects you're doing, we're always there to support, man.
Oh, thank you, man. I was planning on doing the loop pedal set tonight, but because there was 2 shows, I couldn't accommodate it with the sound check. So tonight's all 45s with a 50th hip-hop arc, story arc.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's going to be cool.
Nice, man.
That'd be good.
Cool, man.
Cool. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.